It's been a long time since I've been on this side of the camera instead of pointing that way towards all my Lego stuff. But this is going to be unique and maybe quick. I don't want to dwell on it too long, and I'm going to start with a Lego topic. So years ago, and I think I might have mentioned this, I got these blocks, not the whole lot of them, just 4 of them off, I think it was eBay. It might have been, no, I think it was eBay. And I got 4 of them. And I knew these blocks existed, not when I was younger, pre-internet, which is kind of sad because I did mention that I got a lot from that guy, the old timer out in Selkirk, really nice guy, and there were a bunch of what I consider to be Hot Wheels, and I'm convincing myself they were Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars in his collection that I bought off of him for $125 that filled up the back of my pickup truck. Boxes and boxes and boxes of Lego, which I think I said in the other video, increased my collection by at least a third. I'm convincing myself they were Hot Wheels cars now. I mean, this is decades after the fact, because Lego did come out with cars like this. And I don't know if you can see the word Lego on the bottom. I think it's focusing on that. Maybe it's down. There we go. Lego right there. I don't believe the Lego 187 scale cars were in that collection, but there were mini vehicles in that collection that I just assumed were Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and I just threw them away. And I'm sticking to it that they were not Matchbox. They were Matchbox and not the Lego scaled cars, because the collection that he had went back to the 60s. Straight up, it did. It had a lot of basic pieces. It had a lot of 60s and early 70s pieces. I got one of my gear sets, mint in box, or mint, well, used in box, but out of box from that guy. Just cardboard boxes of, and this is pre-Mega Block. So I put the ad in the paper pre-Mega Block. I think maybe Mega Block had already come out in the 90s. I think that's when it came out. I don't know the exact date because I don't care about Mega Block. Even though it was at that time made in Montreal. I don't know when they started. But most collections after that, I started having to sort out the Lego versus the clone bricks. I will say that before Mega Block showed up, and now it's called Mega Construct, I don't care what it's called. And there's Tyco, and there's Creo, and there's a whole bunch of other things that I don't pay attention to because I'm an adult fan of Lego, AFOL, not AFOB, adult fan of the brick. But when I got my older collections, even back in high school when I got it off buddies for beer money, as I keep on saying, I would have to sort out, there was that soft plastic red brick that I remember Brian and I had, and they were like 1x2s, but they were square studs, and if you press too hard, they would compress, they would out, and they had just a little cheese slopes basically for roofs. And they came with these window inserts and things. I remember very young that Brian and I had a set of that. I think we only have one. We got it for one Christmas. I don't think I was more than 4 or 5. And that got sorted out pretty quick, even when the 3 of us were playing, Brian, Terry, and me. And that was long gone by the time I hit 10. We had Tinker Toys. Tinker Toys were awesome. Like, seriously, I could be a fan of Tinker Toys. No. But Tinker Toys when I was younger, lots of fun. And I will still see the occasional round tube at Value Village, and I somewhat tempted, but this is what I got. So there's those plastic bricks that I would have to sort out sporadically when I got a lot, and there was also the ones that were slightly not even compatible with Lego, and they were bigger, but not as big as Duplo. They're kind of halfway between Duplo and Lego. They had tall studs, and they had the little stripes down the middle instead of the tubes underneath inside. Never liked them. They always seemed chintzy and icky and whatever, because again, I was already a fan. But so, and I didn't know the history of Lego. Like, I knew they were been around for a long time. And I read some of my brochures, and when I had the tour of Samsonite, I had an idea of Lego. But even that even the book that I got, swag. I got this when I toured the Samsonite company in Stratford, Ontario, before the Samsonite company sold the patents and whatever, the trademark, well, not the trademark because Lego always was, but before Samsonite in Stratford stopped producing Lego, I got to see Lego coming out of the injection molding machines. It was so awesome. Anyway, even in this book, there's zero, as far as I remember, I was looking through now. Oh wait, there was. So I knew about the wooden toys and the duck. I knew about that, but I think it's in here. There's the duck that they made out of Lego. That's Lego too, but that's wood. They released. I never got. I was thinking about getting it, but I could probably build it. I got some of those bricks, the original bricks, and I think right here. So right here, they show you some of the cars. I guess I wasn't paying attention when I got this box or this book. Oh well. I never even put the two together, like Hot Wheels and Matchbox and Lego. Because we used to have, well, again, with the three of us and even with my friends, Hot Wheels and Lego went together because you would build a village and you'd have the Hot Wheels cars driving around. This is before minifigs. This is before minifig cars. This is before even the stiffy minifigs, the ones without moving legs and arms. Hot Wheels. And so I am going to say that I did not know about the 187 scale cars. C'est la vie. I'm pretty convinced, and I could be just deceiving myself that that lot came with them. But whatever. C'est la vie. I think I've already said that. So let's move on. So I got on the internet, and I got on eBay, and I think it wasn't that long ago. I think I got these within the last decade, and I can't remember how much they costed me for all four. I think $30, maybe more. I don't know. I wanted them. Because this is a collector's item now. Now there's the whole set. I think my friend Bill at one of our shows brought the entire box with all the cubes in them, and he has like the tractor and a whole bunch of other wooden Lego things. And I went on eBay a few times, and I bid on the old wooden toy Lego sets the old wooden Lego toys. There was a fire engine, there was a transport truck, there was whatever, wooden wheels, because again, I think it even says in here, but if you watch that video, what happened is that the Lego company founder built furniture, and then he started building toys, and there was a huge fad, and I don't know what year it was, I think it was the 30s, yo-yos. Like yo-yos. So he made lots of yo-yos. And when the yo-yo phase kind of dwindled away, there are 3 words in the English language that start with TW. Anyway, quoting West Wing. So when the Lego fad, when the yo-yo fad dwindled away, he had a whole stocks and boxes full of Legos. I keep on saying that, threw it full of yo-yos. And what he did is he cut the yo-yos in half and used them as tires for his wooden toys. So brilliant. reuse, reduce, recycle. Anyway, so I wanted these, and then he just sent me 4 random ones. And what I spent a lot of time doing is trying to figure out what words I could spell with just these 4 bricks. And basically up on my shelf, I just have it fair. And this kind of leads into sort of tangentially into my next topic, and I don't want to make it too long. So, we used to have neighbors. We still have neighbors, but they're different neighbors now. I'm going to start this off by saying, I spent 2 hours last week, 2 1-hour episodes that I did not upload because I started talking about whatever, and it went right into the old neighbors, and then 2 hours went by. So it's like, obviously, there are some issues. But what I was told recently, shocking to me, because I usually don't think about them, except something happened and it made me remember what happened with them before they left here. And so I went on this tirade and I scrapped it so you guys don't have to listen to my idiot rant about the Neanderthals. Actually, that shouldn't say that because it disparages Neanderthals. Yes, I'm bad. I have all the patience in the world. I have all the respect in the world, even for those who don't deserve it. Like there's what people do with their lives, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter to me. Even when people are being malcontents in the universe, I'll speak my piece, and that's it. You guys can still go off and be idiots. Knock yourself out. When it impacts me and mine, like when it's right next to that wall there, because it's a townhouse complex, then I'm going to get involved, and heavily involved. So 8 years, not the last 8 years, it was a while back now. They've been gone for a bunch of years now. But for 8 years, they were malicious, malcontents. I would say, out of my life experience, my personal life experience, the worst people I've ever met in my life, period. Like, we're not just talking Karens, and I hate using that word as a pejorative. We're not just talking Karens, we're talking vicious malcontents, insulting. We put blinders, like we're walking inside the house, not physically putting a book between or something as a barrier between us and them, but we ignored them. After their first attack on us, blinders went up. I could walk right past them. I should have been a sergeant, because you can yell in my face all you want. I don't care, right? And this is where it come in very handy. So these people were vandalism and death threats. Screaming, shouting, vulgarity, like the vulgarity that would make a sailor blush, in front of their little kids and in front of our little kid, right? And we have a kid. And so they were the most reprehensible people I have ever met. And a lot of people would think that maybe it's just they didn't get along with us. Maybe it's just because I'm a mean, nasty guy that people want to hate. Sure, whatever. Broad shoulders. But we went to court. Yes, court. We went to court. We went through the whole process. We own our house. They owned their house. It wasn't rentals. It wasn't just an eviction. We had to go through 8 years of police and lawyers and blah, 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 and get the condo corporation involved and blah, 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 blah. 8 years. And until a judge, a provincial judge, after hearing the overwhelming stacks of evidence, we kept log files. Sandy and I kept log files for 8 years. I was walking home I just parked my car in my driveway from work, and I was walking from my car to the house, and she yelled up, "Used, blah, blah, beep, beep, beep," whatever, out her front door at me. And I hadn't even seen her. Like, this is who we were dealing with. A judge told them they had to sell their house and move away. They had 90 days. And this is a bunch of years back. 90 days to get out. A judge kicked somebody who owned their house. It wasn't financial, although that also played in. It was the fact of their reprehensible nature. And it's right there in the findings of the arbitrator, they skipped the mediation. But there's a whole, I'm not going to go into all the details. That was the 2 hours. Not going to go into all the details. But right there in the notes of the arbitrator, reprehensible, ungovernable, flouting societal norms, broke condo laws, broke provincial bylaws, broke municipal bylaws, broke our bylaws for a corporation. There was damage to property, there was threats of violence, there was indecent exposure. Come on, anyway, they're gone now. And so this, again, to make that 2-hour video into a 14-minute video, I've been told that they actually watch these videos sometimes. they want to see me, because I had this YouTube channel well before I met Sandy. Like, I've been doing YouTube since YouTube basically started. So I've been told that they watch my videos sometimes. Just to, I don't know. I don't know what thrill they get out of watching my videos, but I'm told that they watch them. So hi, hi old neighbors who don't live here anymore. Oh well, I don't rejoice in this, although there's a little bit of happiness. I don't rejoice in this because every step along the way, the lawyers tried to tell him, the condo board tried to tell him, the police tried to tell him, the numerous stacks of police visits to them, not just because we're calling. I think we only called 3 or 4 times, but out of the dozens of police visits, even the police said, can't you all just get along? To them, not to us, because hey, I'll get along with anybody who wants to get along. Right? I mean, hey, hey, you want to borrow a ladder? Hey, here's a ladder. We lent them stuff before the things went off the rails because they didn't have too much, and that's perfectly, you know, that's part of it. Hey, you need a ride somewhere? Not a problem. You need to borrow my ladder? Need a hammer? You know where my garage is. I tell that to everybody who lives in this complex. Right? I have so many residents in this complex that are retirees and they're or young stunning families, and they don't have stuff like we do as a middle age now. With a 12-year-old, I got a whole wood shop. Right? You've seen my videos show me. So people, oh, Dave, can I borrow a hammer? Sure, just bring it back. You know, I grew up, my parents instilled that in me, like just help out your neighbor. Right? If you need a strong back, not during the COVID thing, but if you need a strong back, hey, we need help moving this couch out of the house. Come on and grab me because I'm watching TV, right? I'm socialist privately. I'm here for this community. I grew up in a community environment with my parents. Like, go help your neighbor. Go help the old guy that's living in town that can't cut his grass anymore. You know, if he pays you, that's great, but he needs help. Go over there. Ask what you can do. That's the society I grew up in, right? And so when these guys moved in, and for first 1 or 2 years, it was fine. We're cordial. Hi, how's it going? Here's a birthday card for your daughter. She's having a birthday. There you go. As a gift card in for whatever. Then it went off the rails, and it wasn't anything that we did. And I even recently, after textbook reading and talking to actual people with letters behind their name, it wouldn't have mattered who lived in this house. It wouldn't have mattered if Gandhi lived here in our unit. They were going to eventually attack him. They're going to attack anybody who lives next. They attacked everybody, not just us. As I said, the police were here numerous times, not because of us, because of other people, because of the school, because of what happened at the store, because of everything. Like, we're even talking racial slurs. Like, we're in the 21st century. Like, even if you are as obtuse and addle-minded as they come, you should know that using racial pejoratives against black people in public where other people can hear you is possibly not the best thing you should be doing with your life. Anyway, so I thought about the ferret because it's been sitting on my wall. Like, it's just been sitting there. It's just been sitting up there. And the second I read that, I thought, this is what started a 2-hour rant the other day, but I'm going to keep it down for 18 minutes so far. And then I found out just the other day that they watch, supposedly. I know that after they were first kicked out, after they first were forcibly forced to sell their house, and I use the word evicted, but that only applies to renters, but I use it because I don't want to say forced to sell their house and move out. So when they were forcibly evicted by the court system, I was doing YouTube channels, YouTube videos, as you can see here, and I actually had a subscriber from them, and then instantly deleted. So they were looking at my videos back then, and they accidentally hit subscribe, recognize the last name, and then it just disappeared. So I knew they would do that. I also got a comment on one of my videos from them, and it was disparaging, and it was derogatory, and it was whatever. Delete. It's fine. I don't need it for posterity. I took a screenshot, added it to the incident list that we had going on for 8 years, even though it was already closed and they were already gone. But I added it there, deleted the video, and life goes on. But now I'm told that they're watching these videos, and I'm going, that's not going to stop me from making these videos. As a matter of fact, we know that when they lived next door and I was going to a Lego show, they knew I was going to a Lego show, they would disparage me. They would say, oh, look at the Lego kid. He hasn't gotten older than 12. Why? How does he possibly, just stupid stuff that you can even imagine. Trying to insult me. I don't know where that they think they got the idea that was at all affecting me, because look, I still did it. and people that I respected questioned occasionally. People I respected and admired and looked up to, including family members, didn't like my Lego hobbies when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And yet I kept it. And so you think that you, complete stranger who just got evicted from your house because you're an idiot and a complete and utter whatever, saying anything to me, it's going to say, these guys think I'm just childish playing with Lego. You think I'm actually going to, you think I'm actually going to give up the hobby? Who are you? Who are you to me? As a matter of fact, there was a video today that also relates to this. Eminem was being interviewed, and I'm not a huge rap fan at all, but I admire the person who is Eminem, because he seems to have, as far as I understand, because I don't follow him and know all this minutiae of his life, but he seems to have it. He lives his life the way he wants to, right? So there's a interviewer saying, "Hey, Eminem, yeah, it's a great concert. Yeah, hey, by the way, not to stir it up or anything like that, but somebody else says that you're full of whatever beep. And so, do you have anything you want to say to this person?" And Eminem goes, "Who?" And the interviewer goes, "Yeah, this guy over here, supposedly famous, is talking smack about you." And Eminem, what do you want to say to him? Eminem goes, "Who? Oh, yeah, got it." So, who are they to me? I still have my house. I still live here, mortgage free, with my collection, with my beautiful wife, my wonderful kid, my mother-in-law. Unfortunately, we don't have our dog anymore, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. He passed away. Who are these people that used to live there? And we're not going to even talk about where they are now, because it's like, grow up. And I'm saying this with full understanding of what's behind me. Grow up. Start knowing your personal responsibility to yourselves. Forget about everybody else. Forget about me. Forget about my beautiful wife. Forget about the beautiful home. Here's the song. Forget about the fact that you used to live here and you got forcibly evicted by the court system and you owed, I guess I can say this, $60,000. 60 grand. So if somebody came to me, I'm working hard, bringing home a paycheck, trying to get my bank account built up. If I was opening my mouth saying stupid stuff and the court imposed a $60,000 fine against me, I would start thinking, maybe I should shut my yap. maybe zip it. The other thing is that she opened her mouth, well, the first time we were in court, she opened her mouth and she got a fine just because she opened her mouth in court. She could not keep her yap shut in court. She had to disparage the judge. So here's anybody, if you watch CSI or Law and Order, anything, you're in court, you know the judge has your life in his hands, or her hands. Not to be sexist, because I'm not, his not meaning male, their hands. I had female judges too. Talk to them. Your life is in their hands. It's kind of an impetus on you to make sure that the waters are calm in the courtroom, that you do not say anything that would rankle the ire of the guy sitting there with the gavel in his hand. But no, here she is shooting off her mouth, and that made my case easier when I went through the arbitration and everything else. And I could say that she couldn't keep her mouth shut to a judge. She could not calm down enough or talk coherently enough or without disparaging with vulgarity and profanity and everything to a judge. I mean, forget about the cops that came to the door, because she was just trashing them all the time and yelling at them and get the F out of my house and blah, blah, blah. No. It's a free country. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, you can move out of your house. those are just the cops. Those are peons to her. Like, who's a cop to her? To me, yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Here's, yep. Everything's legal. That's how I was brought up. I'm not going to, I'm going to plead the fifth if we have that in Canada. I'm going to plead the fifth if I'm whatever. But I don't do anything that's going to get me into trouble with the police, right? My whole life is not getting in trouble with the police. It's the way, again, civically oriented, the way I was brought up. And this is getting a little long, so I'm going to try to wrap it up soon. So anyway, if we can't expect her to keep her mouth shut in front of a judge, a provincial judge that can kick her out of the house, how did we have anything to stop them from attacking us for 8 years? Because they didn't until they were gone. Even after the eviction, for sale, even after the eviction was imposed and they had 90 days to get out, she just went, because there was nothing else for her that we could do to her, really, unless she gets arrested, and we were watching for that. She went right off the rails. Like, we're talking the sexual vulgarity in front of my little kid, the screaming. So one example, I'm outside doing, I don't think I was gardening. I think I was coming into my house after walk. Yeah, it's bringing Friday and our dog in from our walk. And she's leaving her driveway. She's backing out. She has her 6-year-old sitting in the passenger seat in the front, which even I, as a parent, know you shouldn't put your 6-year-old in the front seat because their airbags could kill them. But no, this is who she is. No seatbelt. She's leaving the complex. She backs over her driveway. She sees me and she leans over her 6-year-old because I'm on the passenger side. She rolls down the window, and she's screaming vulgar obscenities at me. She's using C words. She's using sexual explicit conversation in front of her forget me, because I don't, hey, your words, lady, in one ear out the other. You can scream. Hey, I got my recorder. I have it on recording. Which is what you had to start doing. That's why we had to put up video cameras around their house, because of them. They would sneak onto our back deck and leave our barbecue on. And when we called the police on something else because of the death threats, and the police came over here, he said, oh, here's the history of our last 2 years with them, or a couple years now, and the death threat that we have on recording, blah, blah. And we know they've been leaving our barbecue on. We can't prove it because we didn't have the security cameras at the time, but they sneak onto our back deck at night and they leave our barbecue on. So the police go over and talk to them, and they come back to us afterwards and tell us the entire conversation. One of the officers said to me and Sandy, this is the officer telling us straight up, without word of a lie, and it's actually documented. I had to leave the conversation because I was going to punch her in the face. That's what the officer told us about them, our neighbors, the wife next door. I had to leave the conversation because I was going to punch her in the face. Not I was thinking about it, or I was like really tempted to. I was going to. Like, anyway, but when the officers were talking to them, they said, oh, your neighbors are saying that you're leaving the barbecue on. Oh, no, we don't know how to turn on a barbecue. Whatever. And so the police officers, on their own volition, said to them, by the way, if something happens, like if their barbecue gets left on and their house, our house, if their house blows up, yours does too. Like, it's right outside that wall right there. And our barbecue is right, not 5 feet from me. So if our barbecue, and there's a window right there, it could be leaking. I've watched enough shows. Propane sinks, right? So the propane would gather down here if they leave the barbecue on and not lit. And if there's a spark from the furnace or whatever, and this basement goes up, their basement goes up. You've seen the pictures of houses blowing up because of propane leaks. Like, it takes out the entire block. So the cops clearly pointed that out to them. And miraculously, our barbecue was never left on again. Shocking. So it's like, anywho, we're almost at 30 minutes. So I was told, and this is why it was on my mind, I was told that they watched my video. So if you're watching this, hello from me, hello from Sandy, hello from Josh. We're still here in our beautiful house. And you're not. And I don't know where you guys are in the world. and I don't care where you guys are in the world right now. I don't care if you watch these videos. I'm gonna post them, and my life's going on. I don't know how your lives are doing. I'm hearing it's not going very well, and I don't have joy in that, because we gave you guys so much time and so many opportunities, and so many people came to your door to say, knock it off, grow up, be better. And you didn't. You didn't listen to the property manager. You certainly didn't listen to us. You didn't listen to the property manager. You didn't listen to the lawyers. You didn't listen to the police. You didn't listen to the mediator. You didn't listen to the arbitrator. You didn't listen to the judge. I can't, and I don't want to, I can't do anything for you now. We gave you 8 years of time in order to improve yourselves, and you went lower from the beginning. There was not one time through that entire 8 years when the police were giving you subpoenas to be in court. I guess whoever's puts that in there. You didn't learn from that. You attacked Sandy and me every single time. The arbitration, after the night after the arbitration, when we were all in that room together, you were attacking us. There was 6 other families in that room, you know, making their point about how bad you guys are, including the black family that you're racially insulting all the time. And the arbitrator had to tell you in the arbitration, knock off the racial shit. True. Knock off the racial stuff, right? He had to say that to you in the arbitration. Like, I can say it to you and you're not gonna listen to me because I am nobody to you, and that's perfectly. I don't want to be anybody to you. I don't want you watching my videos, but I have no say in it, and it's a free country. Knock yourself out. But really, when you've lost so much money, and you lost your house, and you lost your family, and you lost everything that everybody else strives to work and make better, and you lost it all. I don't understand the mentality. You guys get evicted, you guys get kicked out of your house, and then you guys are posting disparaging comments on my YouTube channel. Like, there are bigger issues in your world than me, because I have no issue. I don't have to think about you. I'm doing it right now because, you know, I heard things. but overall, for the last bunch of years since you've been gone, who are these? Who are you? I'm Eminem right now. Who are you? So have a nice life elsewhere. Without me, without Sandy, I'm sure if I went on your Facebook feed right now, there'd be disparaging comments towards Sandy, like you did for the 8 years of Live Next Door. Fine, not waste your time on that. Beat your head against that wall. It's not my life. So on that shrunk the 2 hours down to 33 minutes, and I got to talk about my wonderful bricks. And my 187 vehicle that I have one of, and I probably may have didn't have more. I guess I probably did not have more. So it's what it is. And so I wanted to get that out of the way, and because I did that 2 hours and I didn't like it too much, I wanted to truncate it down to something manageable. And again, this was a perfect opportunity because of what we still have, because of the threats and because of the threats posted both in online on their Facebook feed, as well as we have on tape from them yelling outside that they're going to hire a hitman and crap. We have friends that occasionally have a quick look, and they let us know that yes, she was posting stupid memes about Sandy. Like 3 or whatever, I don't know how long they've been gone, 2.5 years. No, just go. Just if you want to let us leave space in your head that you have to attack us 3 years after you're gone, whatever. We don't have to check anymore. Our lives are fine. Pretty happy. life is life, and life has its ups and downs and has its moments of happiness and sorrow. Our sorrow was a couple weeks ago, and we're still, working on it. But I've already talked about it, so I don't have to talk about it again. So, everybody, I'm going to be back with brighter topics tomorrow or whenever. And I saw the blocks here, and it just kind of correlated to, what's been going on for the last couple of days. And then I just started digging off some old memories from what happened years ago. So in the end, I'm going to build stuff in the living room. We are getting down to picking a weekend in August for the show on the driveway. And I don't think I was going to use StreamYard, but that doesn't really work with this. So I'm going to try to do a couple pre-streams on YouTube, like live streams on YouTube. Because the last time I had to use Facebook, and you guys who are watching this on YouTube aren't part of my Facebook. So I'm going to, because I got a bunch of cameras. I got my phone, which I use here, and which I used last time to go into Facebook. But I also have my GoPros, and I have some software that liaises the GoPro to the internet, which is kind of neat. So I want to use YouTube. I want to use the streaming service in YouTube. So I do want to give it a test before the weekend, because last time I waited till the weekend and it didn't work at all. So I just went on Facebook instead. So I'm going to probably do a pre-test in the next couple weeks before the weekend. I don't know which weekend. I don't think it's going to be, obviously it's not the long weekend. We're not home. But the following weekend, maybe the weekend after that, I will keep you posted. And if it doesn't happen in August, it'll happen in September, before the snow flies, because I want to set up the layout on the driveway again and do some, because when it's apart, I can't be meticulous with it and whatever. So it's in my head. I'm going to work on it, but I'll keep you posted when I do it. And I'll probably like a pre-video like this, except not 37 minutes. I'm not talking about jackass neighbors. It's good to vent every once in a while. I do find talking about it therapy, and since it's gone, it used to be right after they left, it was like, oh, we're still PTSD, and that's a word that I do not use lately. Right after they left, and it took a couple months of, we don't get attacked coming home anymore, or in our house, or just like, yeah, okay, we don't have to listen to this coming through the walls at 3 o'clock in the morning. So it took a while for us to find some sort of normalcy again, because they were so abnormal, and the new neighbors are utterly fantastic. So we're getting there. Well, we're well past that now. We're very comfortable with everything now, and but every once in a while something will happen, something will trigger, and it's like, oh right, and their names will come up again. And as I said, I just found out the other day that they could be still watching my videos, and that, not a trigger, but I wanted to confront that immediately, and so I did. Have a nice life. I'll talk to you guys soon. Everybody stay safe.